Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. This is a nice clean gel plate. The case is not pristine. You can see tiny little traces of color, but the gel plate is perfectly clean. It's ready to start with a new project. You might think this is the beginning of my gel plate session, but this is actually what I filmed at the end. I always include in my gel plate fun time the act of carefully cleaning my gel plate. I know some people don't clean theirs and they get some amazing bits of old paint, and when I get to the point where I want to splurge again, maybe I will buy a gel plate that I use for that. But I like to keep mine clean, and the instructions with this said that you could clean it with just soap and water, and that's what I always do. Just tepid water and some mild dish soap, and I put it back in the case and it's always ready to go the next time. Hey everybody, I'm close by. I'm grabbing some paper. Okay, I got an assortment of paper, and now let me tell you what I'm doing. Let me get some paint out too. We're going with just the blue family, and I know it's going to work its way into a little bit of green. Now, I love green. I can't wear green. There are people in my life who insist that I can, and I have a very sallow complexion. I'm winter on the color wheel, and I know that I'm supposed to be able to wear certain types of green, but I don't like myself in green. I like maybe this color. I know that looks like it has some green in it. What does this say? Grotto. Gruda. And maybe this is even too green. It has to have some blue in it. It has to have some blue in it. It can't be just green. I cannot wear pale green. I cannot wear yellow green. I cannot wear light green. I cannot wear yellow. I have a very sallow complexion. And anyway, I'm really rambling. I guess because I don't. To the people who think I can wear green, I don't like myself in green. Maybe that's enough blues, but keep seeing things. There's two seasides. And what is this? There may be two of these. Mermaid teal. That, I can wear this color. I'm sure that there's some green in that in some form. So maybe a teal blue. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's gold. But you know what? A touch of gold might be pretty in this. So I'm just kind of, I'm just playing. I haven't had the gel plate out in a while. The reason I'm doing this is to, I'm working on these blue packs, and they're really full. They've got all sorts of things. A few buttons, playing cards, all sorts of paper, fabric, and I wanted to make some special pages with my gel plate. And it's been so long since I've had this out. We're going to just have to get reacquainted. I'm going to start with this mermaid teal. I do like that. Oops, I notice it has some globs, but that's okay. I love this gel plate, and let me tell you, I was one of the ones who for a long time didn't have a gel plate. I watched other people. I love Rosemary Morris's channel, and who else is it? Vicki Ross. I think she plays with her gel plate and gets some amazing bits and bobs off of the gel plate. But I didn't have one. I kept holding out, and I love the one that I ordered. I love it. I've got some paper spread out here to hopefully try to keep myself neat. I'm not always that great at that. I'm going to start off by getting some pretty mermaid teal on this. My fingernails, I know they look terrible. I've got like just flakes of fingernail polish left, and I'm very thankful for my hands, but I've always had my dad's hands. I feel like I have man hands, but I'm really glad to have them. I have strong hands. I've done some hard gardening work and raising 4 kids, 3 of those boys, and I'm really glad to have my hands. So I want to do something. There's got to be a way. Okay, so I think, okay, here's what I need to do. That's aqua. I don't really want that. This one may not even have anything in it, which is one of the reasons I went ahead and pulled that out. Let's get the very last bit of that out. I like those circles. That's kind of neat. So let's get this all over the gel plate. When you're using your brayer, if you squeeze the handle too tight, it won't roll. It took me the longest time to figure that out. I thought something was wrong with the brayer. And this is a vintage brayer. That came from an old art set, probably from the 70s, maybe even older. I don't know. I'll have to show you sometime. So this might not even work. I really want those, the petals. But I'm going to lay this down here, and I'm going to just flatten that out. I need to make another flower press. I had one once upon a time. I don't know where it is. It's probably gone with a lot of other things. I had more than one. I had several. Well, that's kind of neat. It's not not enough contrast, but that's okay, because we're going to do something else with it. Oh, but look at that. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's see what this turns out to be. A rosemary, anytime I'm working with plants, I think about Rosemary Morris, because she does the fabulous, fabulous eco dyeing, and I love her channel. She's the Rusty Peacock. That is awesome. That is the kind of thing that you want. So with the gel plates, don't give up. Just keep doing your thing. We might get a bunch of uses out of that one stem. Oh wait, maybe there are a few little dregs left on this. I started to say I shouldn't have put that on there, but okay, a couple of little spots, and sometimes just a couple of spots make all the difference. Of course, that's going to be on the bottom, so let's go for some higher contrast. So this is a really dark, what is this called? This is called turquoise. I love this. So let's use this. Put that in the same place. And get all this beautiful blue. I don't even remember what I did last time. That's pretty. I like that. Let's go with a lighter color of blue. That's sky blue. I don't think there's anything in this. It just looks really gummy. Yeah. Look at that. We might get a little bit out of that. Let's finish that up. I'm going to go ahead and go across it with the brayer, and we will get those gummy pieces off of there. Maybe I got enough of it off. Almost. Let's get that. So I'm not sure that was worth all the effort. I don't like to waste anything though. And yeah, let's keep pulling those off. Well, let's just see about this. Let's lay this same thing back down, but I wonder if there's any way that I can get the flower more involved with the petals. And then let's do this. If you have some pages that you've done ahead of time with just color on them, that's better. Look at that contrast. Then you, like, if you had a page that you had already done, say, yellow on and it was dry, like I can't put yellow on this now because we will cover the leaves up. But for example, let's try, I don't know that I have anything from the gel plate, but here's some of this. This is paper that I had stained in some greenish water. I distressed some of that bright green paper that I have, and the water that was left over had so much green ink in it. I went ahead and took like an art pad full of paper, not like watercolor paper. This is inexpensive drawing paper or something, and soaked that in it to get the rest of the green color. That is awesome. Love, 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 love that. So sometimes, and like that paper, once I was done with it, I thought, what am I ever going to use this for? Really, I don't want to do that. But then it presented a use. It kind of figured out what it wanted to be just now in this moment. So I did end up using it, which is awesome. And I love that. I love the green and the blue. So we'll do some more of that. I've got a stack of that, which makes me think I need to do some more of that bright green paper. So there we have just maybe a lot more of that off. Ooh, cobalt. The point of doing this though, look how stringy that is. Maybe it's the way I've stored them. Maybe it's how old they are. Maybe it's the brand. Maybe it's because they're cheap. Maybe it's because they're not used right away after they're opened. I don't really know what causes that. The reason I'm doing these though is to put one blue page in with each blue pack. And I'm going to be back really soon to show you those 4 blue packs. 2 are called for already, which means there will be 2 available for the shop. So if you're interested in a blue pack, you know, you can even leave a comment here and let me know before I list them. I don't know, they might not sell that quickly, but sometimes they do. This might have several colors in it actually, so let's lay that flower down again and go with I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think that goes on there yet. I'm supposed to be putting this on here. But look, it looks like an outline. I don't want to lose that. I'm going to just go over it with those circles. It looks like a leaf pattern there, so let's just see what we get from this. And look, this paper actually even has oil in it. And I can't remember what I did. I want to say that after I had distressed the, you know what I think that is? It's some sort of coloring. It wasn't food coloring because that doesn't have oil in it. Maybe it was an essential oil or something I put in to try to get some color. Let's see what this does. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so we'll just put that to the side. Not super crazy about that. We didn't get an amazing amount of plant outline or anything. I still like it though. And see, we could add another layer to that. And then let's get a little prayer. Have a couple of colors in here. Just makes it so pretty. This is the fun. The gel plate seemed a little intimidating to me. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and the first couple of times I used it, I was a little bit overwhelmed. And then all of a sudden you realize it's just a place where you can layer things, and it doesn't matter how messy things get on this gel plate. It's going to put some awesome things on your paper. And if it doesn't, you can let that paper dry and use that same paper on the gel plate again. And sometimes layers that's what makes something really beautiful. Well, a lot of times, even in life, it's the layers of experience and lessons, life lessons, and things that make us really awesome people. Look at that. That is amazing. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's going to go in a blue pack. And then when we pull that off, look, you can even see the veins in the leaves. So let's put this on here. There's something so therapeutic about this. Really and truly. So therapeutic. Oh, wow. This one is amazing too. Look at that. You can even see the flower. So how can we make this even better? This is the one I did that had the circles on it. And there's too much paint. I'm actually gonna see if I can get some of it to come off on the gel plate. Yeah, and then we'll let that dry. We might use that again. Let's take more of this really dark cobalt and run that over the gel plate. Again, like if you squeeze that, it's not going to roll. It's just going to push back and forth, and it's so aggravating. So, and then if you pull it too far apart, the little, like the rolling pin thing comes out. So you just lightly go across. You're still going to end up sometimes with lines in on the gel plate, and sometimes what that is coming from is debris. Like if you're using really gummy acrylic paint like I did a while ago, you can end up with a piece that's just sort of stuck. So probably I would either look for it and try to pull it off, or take a scrap piece of paper and rub your brayer across it between pages here so that you get it clean again. So how many of you out there are thinking these days that you're really, really glad that you went crazy and bought all of those art supplies that seemed like more than one person in this world could ever use? And now that we can't go out and shop, you have art supplies on hand. I'm just so grateful that I have this stuff to play with. Here's where we're going to change things up. I think I want to try to get some gold out of here. Oh yeah, I thought it was going to be dried up, and it's not. This is one time I'm going to clean the brayer off, and see, that's pretty too. Just clean the brayer off on this. See, look, a piece of debris came off, and you saw that I pressed way too hard and popped that out of place, which I don't want to tear this up. I got this for so cheap. I found an old craft set where you make your own cards, and it was kind of cool. It had some, what you might call ephemera in it, just little examples of what you could make, but it was mostly outdated in not such a good way. But it had this awesome brayer in it, and it had a few other things in it too. I don't even remember at the moment what all it had in it. So now we're going to lay this down in the gold. I'm going to put this right down here and try to get the gold on here, and we'll see what that leaves behind as far as the shape of the flower. Oh, that's pretty. That has an Asian look. I love that. That makes a really cool collage work. Oh wow, that was beautiful. Now that I can see it from a distance, it's just shimmering. That was a lot of fun. And while I was sitting here looking at these, I thought of something that I wanted to tell you. I bought this placemat at the Dollar Tree, and one of the reasons I bought it was because of the botanical elements. And when I looked at it, I thought, wow, that would be so much fun to use with a gel plate. For $1, this is really pretty awesome. And I use it for small projects. If I have something really big and messy, I get out a piece of paper like you saw earlier. But I wanted to show you how these turned out. They're very reminiscent of this. And again, it's all about layering. It's about just enjoying your gel plate. There are no right or wrong formulas for making art with your gel plate. But, you know, getting a color on the paper and then going back a second and a third time, that's where you get the layers. Look at that gold. Didn't that turn out just beautiful? I love this stained paper with the blue and the sort of green on top. Here's the one where we put some lavender in, and you can see where there was a bit of gold left behind. I love the contrast in this. I'm not sure, I guess it's where I laid the paper. So part of the leaf on that is white, and even that, it draws your eye to that part. This is the one where I had the rings of paint, and that's just really sort of a mess right now, but it does have some really pretty waves. That almost looks like sand in shallow water at the beach, where you see the water go out and it leaves those ripples there. That would be really pretty in a beach journal. It would also be pretty to use this on the gel plate again. So just completely let this be a background and you'll get more art on top of that. I love the way this one turned out. I think it's beautiful. This again is the lavender that was left over when we pulled the petal off, and it's on that sort of greenish paper. Love the way this one turned out. I think I'm probably going to have enough of these to put 2 in each of the blue packs. And I love this one. Now this one is on the bottom. I used a piece of bright vellum to get just the outline of the stem and the leaves and to pick up some of that last bit of color. When this vellum got wet, it rolled up into a scroll. I had to really wrestle with this to get it laying out flat again and put something on the corners to get it to behave. I do like it. I'm going to put it back on the bottom of the stack. Try to keep it from rolling so much. Anyway, it's all beautiful. I wanted to share the finished results. These are going into the blue packs, and I will be back really soon with the blue packs. And thank you again for being patient. Okay, bye. I'll see you soon.